Our next guest as the longtime host of The Daily Show. He's interviewed thousands of guests, including presidents and other world leaders, but now he's diving into a very different realm. He's writing and directing films. His first is called Rosewater. Please welcome Mr. Jon Stewart, one of my favorites. Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. Okay, I have so many questions for you and so many questions just about The Daily Show. Okay, I'm so curious and always have been. The Daily Show is so much comedy, but it's also very politically inclined. Did you start out wanting to be a journalist and it just so happened that you were funny, or did you start out as a comedian?
I started out as a comedian, and I think part of it is, you know, after being a comedian for a year, you run out of jokes to make about your families. You sort of look around to see what else is interesting to you. And I think that I always wanted to, you know, write jokes and do work about things that I thought were important to me. So I think that's where the directional shift took place.
Yeah, I think that it seems like the things that you tackle these deep subjects. You tend to do it in a way with humor on the show, but this project, Rosewater, is something very different.
Right. Similar, though, in the sense that, you know, oddly enough, it's such an absurd situation that this journalist, Maziar Bahari, was put into. He was held in solitary confinement for 4 months, purely for doing his job. He was accused of being a spy. They showed evidence that he was a spy of the fact that he did a bit with our show in 2009 before the election.
Is that how you were familiar with the story because of his appearance on your show? Oh, great.
That's right. Jason Jones went to Tehran in a cafe in Tehran. Jason dressed in a keffiyeh and had on sunglasses and said, "I am an American spy. Tell me why your country is so terrifying." He played that clip for Maziar in the prison as evidence, saying to him, "Why is the spy interviewing you if you're not a spy?" Maziar said, and you can imagine it went downhill from that point.
Oh, my goodness.
But that type of absurdity is what sort of brought me to this story, and it's very compelling, and it's something that's being faced by journalists and activists and bloggers all over the world now. It's not just Iran.
When you made this film, when you wrote it and watched it, you know, come to life in front of your eyes, was the process surprising to you at all?
The process is, strangely enough, it's not that different from the way we do it at the show. More different was the environment. You know, we're used to being in the same place every day for 16 years, so we've been able to kind of make the production more efficient. But the people that were going to involve themselves in the project, we're going to do it in 5 weeks. We don't have any money. We're going to do it in Jordan. It's going to be 100 degrees out. It's going to be Ramadan, so half the crew is going to be fasting. But on the plus side, I've never done this before. So, you know, there in that to try and create the process and make it efficient. But the cinematographer, the actors that we got, Gael Garcia Bernal, Shorey Agdashlu, you know, to get people of that level to do it was what made it all worthwhile.
Well, Jon, it looks like a fascinating project. I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me.
And apologize to everybody for the breakup there. It's windy out. That's what happens on the satellites. By the way, Rosewater comes out Friday, but if you want to see it the night before, go to fathomevents.com and purchase tickets to the special screening. The film will be followed by a live simulcast with Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, and we are back with more broadcast right after this.